Hey, Cornerstone family, Pastor Matt here, coming to you today from my front yard. We got this really great, awesome tree in our front yard that we put these really cool lounge chairs in, and so it's such a beautiful day. When I went doing this recording, that I thought I would actually just come to you via video from here. Hope you're getting out and enjoying the weather as well. But wanted to give you an update on where we stand in regards to in-person services. Many of you were already aware and already have processed through a lot of the information that the governor had shared last Friday about kind of getting Indiana back on track and what that meant for churches and all of that. And I made a video last week that said that it looked like as a result of all of those guidelines that it was going to be June 14th before we were going to be able to meet again in person. But you may or may not know that the governor had another press conference on Monday where he kind of actually clarified a couple things from Friday's address that actually kind of changed things just a little bit. And mostly the fact that the in-person guidelines that we were kind of trying to abide by actually do not apply to churches. He's kind of using churches as kind of a test group in regards to rolling out, opening up the state. He figures that churches would be able to do it with the most amount of integrity and be able to continue to do all the social distancing guidelines and all those kinds of things while also being able to meet together. And so that kind of opened up a lot of avenues for us. So we ended up getting an emergency meeting together with the board and the staff and I, and to kind of talk about, okay, well, with these new regulations and what's allowed, what's not allowed, what are we going to do? And so we met and wanted to let you know kind of what our game plan is. And so here's our game plan. Because we are still unaware of really how this thing is going to really affect everybody and all that kind of stuff, we're going to take what we're calling a stair-step or slow approach to returning to in-person services. Even though many of the things kind of we could really meet right now, we wanted to take a slow approach. And so what that really means is that at this point, our game plan is this weekend, May 10th, Mother's Day weekend, as well as next weekend, May 17th, that we would continue doing what we've been doing and being online only at 9 a.m. on Sunday morning. But the cool thing is, because of the regulations that got lifted in regards to the 10-person limit, we are going to encourage you for the next few weeks to do watch parties with your small group. If you're in a small group, maybe you can invite your neighbors, your family, those kind of things, and watch the service together. Invite some people in. Try to create some sense of community. Again, relationship is at our core at Cornerstone, so try to create some sense of community in the next couple weeks as you can. Then, the following weekend, May 24th, and that weekend after, May 31st, we are going to be actually switching our time and actually switching to a live feed. The time would go to 11:30 a.m. On Sunday morning, but it would be strictly online only. We're doing this so that we can have our tech teams prep and get ready for when we are going to be able to be in person, that our live streaming can still work for those of you that decide to stay home for a season. And so May 24th and May 31st will be live at 11:30 a.m. instead of 9 a.m., but it will be live. And so that's kind of cool. We haven't been live before. It's all been pre-recorded. So we'll do 2 weekends of that, as well as that'll give us, we're going to be working on solutions for in-person with a lot of our usher teams and greeting crews and cleaning crews and all that kind of stuff to make sure that we're prepared and ready to go for when we do go live in person, which will be, at this point, we are looking at June the 7th. So the very first weekend in June, which is a week earlier than we were originally planning on doing of all this. And so that's exciting. That's exciting because really we're talking about only another 4 weeks, and then we're all going to be able to meet together again, which is really, really great. And so what this is really exciting for us is that, again, it gives us a slow approach in regards to being safe, but it also gives us an opportunity to, for those of you that are ready to corporately worship together, give us an avenue to do that, as well as gives us an avenue as well for those of you that we're going to need to kind of stay in for a season and kind of stay safe in that regard. And so it kind of gives us the most amount of relationship that we can do at this point in time. To that end, though, that there are a couple things that the state is asking us to inform you and ask you to keep in mind as we move forward. Number one, if you are 65 years old or older, they're suggesting that you stay home. because again, you're the most affected by this virus, as we have seen over the last several weeks. They will, over the next few weeks and stages of this development, I think stage 4 is when they would suggest that you come out, and this will be actually only going into stage 2 and 3. So there you go. So if you're 65 or older, please consider staying in. Face coverings, as you've probably heard, St. Joe County is encouraging and actually saying that face coverings are required. And so our language at this point is we are encouraging that as well. And so here's the caveat with that. We know that the worship team can't really do the worship with the face coverings on, and the whoever's teaching won't be able to do that. So there will be some level of not masking up and things like that, but there will be people that will be doing that. Probably some people that won't, but we're going to at least encourage that and try to get people to do that, because it does help kind of spread the splash germs and all of that. Things that are going to look a little bit different in regards to how we do church, though, because the guidelines for gathering do apply pre and post service, just not during the service. And so we can have more people in the service, but just not gathering and doing a lot of what we would normally do, which would be, gathering and laughing and all that kind of stuff, whatever, which you still want to do and gather and laugh and all that, but we had to do it specifically. So what's going to end up happening is that you would come in to the door at Shepherd's Heart Fellowship. I forgot to mention that. It'll be 11:30 a.m. on June 7th at Shepherd's Heart Fellowship Church. So you come in the door. The ushers would seat you. It's almost kind of like you're coming to a wedding a little bit. The ushers would seat you. We're going to be trying to seat family units together and 6 feet apart from other people throughout the room. And as well as have places in regards to the gather space areas with the markings on the floor, and even outside as you're kind of waiting to come in and those kinds of things. Which, by the way, if you're having to wait to come in, you see a long line to be coming in, you may want to wait in your car until the line's a little shorter, and then kind of come up. But the ushers will seat you, and then after service is over, we will be dismissing you row by row, again, kind of like a wedding. And then our request is going to be that if you want to kind of hang out with people and kind of talk to people, to like go outside and do that. We're going to have some tents set up as well as long as weather is appropriate. And then you can kind of do that with social distancing and all those kinds of things as well. A couple things that we know of, though, that will be different other than that is that we know that we will not be able to, at least for the month of June, and then we'll reassess, won't be able to do kids ministry or coffee, so make sure you bring your own coffee. The kids team will be getting in contact with you in regards to parents for things to bring with you for the kids to do. We might have a couple of things for you as well. And then we won't be doing a name tag table. We won't be doing greeting time and things like that. And again, we'll be reassessing this as we go, but that's what we can foresee at this point. So all that being said, we're excited. We're excited that we have a firm date and all the things that we're looking at. It gives us a slow approach to get tech ready and teams ready and all those kinds of things, as well as keep everybody safe as we get more data in regards to what opening up is really going to look like and all of that. But here's the thing. We're going to ask you just to be flexible. Just be flexible because this thing, as we saw on the front of this, is kind of a day-to-day, week-to-week kind of process. And so things may change. Things may get longer. Maybe we have to change again. Things might be able to move up. We might be able to do certain things like coffee at some point, and maybe not kids ministry, or all those kind of things. And so just be flexible. But we are excited to be able to corporately come together and worship our God together. And so and just see. I told somebody that there would be just, even if I have to see you 6 feet apart, that's gonna do my heart so much good to be able to see all of you in person. Those of you that choose to come, and again, we know some of you will be continuing to go with us live for a season, and that's okay. We'd rather everybody be safe for a little while. So there you go. If you have any questions or need any things, suggestions, things like that, you can always email me at matt@cornerstonevineyard.church, and I can gladly answer those things or take those suggestions from you. Looking forward to seeing you, and whether that's in person or virtually. But for the next couple weeks, again, join in a watch party, even the May 24th and May 31st dates, as we kind of go live at 11:30. Grab some people, do that kind of thing, and then we'll look forward to seeing you guys on June 7th. That's it for me. We look forward to seeing you this weekend, 9 a.m., and just know that you are loved.